Your special person finally revealed how they truly see you. The truth may surprise you. My beloved child. Don't skip, because what you are about to hear is not an ordinary story. It begins with a moment your special person never expected anyone to witness. They were asked a simple question: how do you really see them? For a few long seconds, they stayed completely silent. They looked away, smiled for only a heartbeat, and then whispered something that changed the entire conversation. No one in that room expected those words. The truth they had hidden for so long finally escaped, and once it was spoken, there was no way to take it back. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The answer was not about your appearance, your success, or anything people usually notice first. It was about something much deeper, something they had been trying to ignore because it frightened them more than they could explain. Every time they convinced themselves they were moving on, one small reminder brought them right back to you. They began noticing little things that no one else noticed. The way you carried yourself, the quiet strength behind your smile, and the kindness you showed even when nobody was watching. Those details stayed with them long after every conversation ended. They realized you were becoming impossible to forget, and that realization made them question everything they thought they knew. A strange shift happened after that. Instead of asking themselves why they couldn't stop thinking about you, they started asking a completely different question: why does this person make me feel understood without even trying? That question echoed through their mind again and again. Don't skip, because this is where everything changes. They finally admitted that whenever your name appeared, their heartbeat felt different. Whenever someone mentioned you, they paid closer attention than they wanted anyone to notice. They even caught themselves imagining conversations that had never happened, wondering what they would say if they had one honest chance to tell you everything. But fear stood in the way. Not fear of rejection, fear that if they spoke too soon, they might lose something they had waited far too long to find. So they stayed quiet while their feelings quietly became stronger. They watched from a distance, hoping for a sign, searching for one tiny reason to believe the timing would finally be right. What surprised them the most was realizing that every attempt to forget you only made your presence feel even stronger. The harder they tried to close the door, the wider it seemed to open. Now comes the part almost nobody knows. The moment they finally described you in their own words, the room became completely still. They didn't call you perfect. They didn't pretend life would always be easy. Instead, they said something far more powerful. They said you were someone who made ordinary moments feel unforgettable, someone whose absence could be felt even in a crowded room, someone who carried a quiet light that stayed in people's hearts long after they walked away. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Those words surprised even them, because they had never admitted those feelings out loud before. The truth they revealed wasn't planned, and once it escaped, they couldn't hide behind silence anymore. But what happened immediately after that confession is the part almost no one has heard. A single unexpected event forced them to make a decision they had been avoiding for far too long, and that decision could change everything much sooner than anyone imagined. A quiet moment arrived when they could no longer hide behind excuses. They replayed every memory in their mind, searching for a reason to convince themselves that what they felt wasn't real. But every path led back to the same truth: you had become the one person they measured everyone else against. Don't skip, because what happened next surprised even them. They realized that no matter how busy life became, there was always an empty space that only thoughts of you seemed to fill. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They began noticing little reminders everywhere. A familiar song, a random place, a simple conversation, somehow everything pointed back to you. That was the moment they understood they were no longer fighting a passing emotion. They were facing something much deeper, something that had quietly grown stronger while they were pretending not to notice. Then an unexpected conversation changed everything. Someone close to them casually asked, "If you had one chance to tell them how you really see them, what would you say?" This time, they didn't stay silent. They admitted that you were different from anyone they had ever met. They said you carried a calm confidence that couldn't be explained, and that even during difficult moments, you somehow inspired hope instead of fear. Don't skip, because those words shocked the people listening. They had never heard your special person speak about anyone with that much honesty before. What surprised them even more was realizing they weren't describing who you used to be, they were describing the person they still saw every single day in their heart. For the first time, they stopped worrying about what everyone else might think and started wondering whether you already knew how deeply you had impacted their life. But the story didn't end there. Later that night, they made a quiet decision that no one else knew about. Instead of running from their emotions, they chose to face them. They promised themselves that if one more unmistakable sign appeared, they would stop hiding the truth they had carried for so long. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. That sign appeared much sooner than expected, and it wasn't something dramatic or impossible, it was so simple that it caught them completely off guard. In that single moment, every doubt they had been holding onto started falling away. Now they stand closer than ever to revealing what has remained unspoken for so long, but the next step they are preparing to take could leave both of you completely surprised. Everything shifted the moment they stopped asking themselves whether they should reach out and started asking when. That small change carried enormous weight. Don't skip, because this is where the hidden truth begins to unfold. They quietly replayed your last conversations, remembering words that seemed ordinary at the time but now felt filled with meaning. They realized you had been giving them reasons to believe all along, yet fear had kept them from seeing what was right in front of them. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. For the first time, they admitted that what they admired most wasn't something anyone could easily describe. It was the way you stayed genuine when life became complicated. It was your quiet resilience, your patience, and the rare feeling of peace they experienced whenever they imagined a future that included you. That realization became impossible to ignore, and from that day forward, every decision they made began leading back to the same destination, you. As those feelings grew stronger, something unexpected happened. They found themselves defending you even when you weren't there. Whenever someone misunderstood you or made assumptions, they felt an irresistible urge to speak up. That surprised them more than anyone else because they had never cared so deeply about protecting another person's reputation before. Don't skip, because the next discovery changed everything. One evening, while sitting alone with their thoughts, they finally confessed something they had never admitted out loud. They weren't afraid of loving you. They were afraid of what would happen if they waited too long. That fear became louder than every excuse they had been hiding behind. Suddenly, silence no longer felt safe. Keeping their emotions locked away no longer felt like protection. It felt like losing the one opportunity they might never receive again. Then came the moment that completely caught them off guard. A simple reminder of you appeared when they least expected it, and instead of pushing the feeling away, they smiled without realizing it. In that instant, they understood exactly how they truly saw you, not as someone who happened to cross their path, but as someone who had quietly become part of the future they kept imagining. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. That realization gave them the courage to prepare for a step they once believed they would never take. They haven't revealed everything yet, but the distance between silence and honesty has never been smaller. What they are about to do next has the power to change the direction of this entire story, and when that moment finally arrives, it may happen far sooner than either of you expects. A single unexpected moment made them realize there was no reason left to keep pretending. They looked back at every missed opportunity, every message they almost sent, every conversation they rehearsed in their mind but never allowed to happen. Don't skip, because this is the turning point they never saw coming. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They finally understood that waiting for the perfect time had only created more distance. Deep inside, they already knew the truth. The way they saw you had become stronger than their doubts. You were no longer just someone they admired, you had become the person who inspired them to believe that genuine connection still existed. That realization brought both excitement and uncertainty, because they knew the next choice could change everything. Then something happened that completely caught them off guard. Someone casually mentioned your name during an ordinary conversation, and without thinking, their face lit up. They couldn't hide it anymore. The people around them noticed the change immediately. They asked why your name always seemed to make them smile, but instead of denying it, they simply stayed quiet. That silence revealed more than words ever could. Don't skip, because the hidden meaning behind that moment is extraordinary. They finally accepted that every time they imagined their future, you were already standing somewhere inside it. They weren't forcing those thoughts anymore. They were naturally appearing, as if their heart had already made a decision before their mind could catch up. Every passing day made that feeling impossible to ignore. Now they are standing at the edge of a choice that has been waiting for far too long. They know they can't keep hiding what they truly feel, because every day of silence feels heavier than the last. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They're beginning to believe that honesty is no longer a risk. It's the only path forward. But before they take that step, one final realization is about to reach them, and it will answer the question they have been asking themselves over and over: what if this connection was never meant to be forgotten? The answer arrives sooner than they expect, and when it does, the next chapter of this story will unfold in a way neither of you could have predicted. A feeling they had tried to silence for so long suddenly became impossible to ignore. It wasn't loud or dramatic. It arrived quietly, during an ordinary moment, and that was exactly what made it so powerful. Don't skip, because this hidden truth changes everything. They realized that every important decision they had made recently somehow led them back to one thought: you. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They stopped asking whether they cared and started wondering how they had managed to hide those feelings for so long. The answer surprised them. They weren't protecting themselves from disappointment. They were protecting themselves from the possibility that what they felt was real, because once they accepted it, there would be no turning back. The next discovery shook them even more. They remembered something you once said that seemed completely ordinary at the time. Back then, they smiled and moved on. But now those same words echoed in their heart with a completely different meaning. Suddenly, they understood that you had never been trying to impress anyone. You had simply been yourself, and that honesty was exactly what had captured their attention. Don't skip, because the biggest realization is still ahead. They finally admitted that the way they saw you had changed forever. They no longer saw someone they might lose. They saw someone worth taking a chance for, someone whose presence brought a sense of peace they had searched for in countless other places but never truly found. That realization gave them a quiet confidence they had never experienced before. Now they are closer than ever to breaking the silence. Every excuse they once believed has started fading away, replaced by a growing certainty that waiting any longer would only create more regret. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. There is one final piece of this story they have not revealed yet, and it is the reason their heart refuses to let go. They have already made a choice deep inside, even if they haven't spoken it aloud. The only thing left is the moment when they finally allow those hidden feelings to become real. And when that moment arrives, the truth they have carried for so long will no longer belong only to them. It will begin a completely new chapter that neither of you saw coming. The waiting has become heavier than the fear. Every morning they tell themselves they will stay silent just one more day, but every evening they realize they have spent the entire day thinking about you again. Don't skip, because this is the moment where everything begins to shift. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They finally admitted something they had never been brave enough to say before. Seeing you happy mattered to them more than protecting their own pride. That realization changed the way they looked at every memory. Instead of remembering the distance between you, they started remembering every reason they were drawn to you in the first place. It became clear that what they felt wasn't temporary, it had quietly become part of who they were. Then another unexpected truth surfaced. They imagined what life would look like if they never shared their real feelings, and that picture filled them with regret instead of relief. In that instant, they understood exactly how they truly saw you. You weren't simply someone who crossed their path, you had become the person who inspired them to believe that some connections deserve to be protected instead of ignored. Don't skip, because the next step is closer than they ever imagined. They are no longer searching for perfect words. They are searching for the courage to speak honestly. Every heartbeat reminds them that silence has lasted long enough, and every passing day convinces them that the opportunity standing before them is too valuable to lose. Now only one final barrier remains. It isn't distance, timing, or uncertainty. It's the single moment when they decide to stop hiding behind hesitation and finally let the truth be heard. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They can already feel that moment approaching, and when it arrives, nothing will be the same as before. The way they truly see you has already been revealed inside their heart. The only thing left is for those feelings to reach you, and when they finally do, one unexpected revelation will appear immediately afterward, a revelation so surprising that it will make the entire journey you've just heard feel like it was leading to that one unforgettable moment all along. The moment they had been avoiding finally arrived. There was no dramatic countdown, no perfect setting, and no carefully planned speech. It happened because their heart could no longer carry what it had been hiding. Don't skip, because this is the truth everything has been leading toward. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They finally accepted that the way they truly saw you would never change, no matter how much time passed. To them, you had become a source of peace in a world that often felt uncertain. You were the person they trusted with dreams they had never shared, the face that appeared in their happiest thoughts, and the reason they believed that some people enter your life for a purpose greater than coincidence. That realization gave them the courage they had been searching for all along. As they stood on the edge of revealing everything, one final surprise unfolded. Instead of feeling fear, they felt an unexpected sense of calm. It was as though every unanswered question suddenly had the same answer. They stopped worrying about whether the timing was perfect and started believing that honesty was the only thing that truly mattered. Don't skip, because this changes the meaning of the entire story. They understood that the greatest mistake would not be hearing no. The greatest mistake would be never letting you know how deeply you had touched their life. In that quiet moment, they smiled to themselves because they realized something extraordinary: you had already changed them long before they ever found the courage to admit it. Now the truth has finally been revealed. They don't see you as someone ordinary. They see you as someone unforgettable, someone whose presence continues to leave a lasting mark even when you are not beside them. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Their heart has already made its decision, and their next step will come from honesty instead of hesitation. Whether it begins with a simple message, an unexpected conversation, or a moment neither of you planned, they know they can no longer hide what they truly feel. This wasn't the ending they once expected, it was the beginning of a new chapter, built on sincerity, hope, and the quiet courage to let the truth finally be seen.